If Photoshop is showing the message that scratch disks are full, don't worry. This is a very common issue, and in many cases, you can fix it in just a few minutes. In this video, I'll show you 3 simple ways to solve the problem, including how to change the scratch disk location, how to adjust it inside Photoshop, and how to clear temporary cache files to free up space. If this tutorial helps, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more quick Photoshop fixes. Let's get started. First, if Photoshop won't even open because of the scratch disk error, you can force it to launch by changing the scratch disk during startup. To do that, close Photoshop completely, then reopen it. The moment it starts loading, hold down Ctrl and Alt on Windows or Command and Option on Mac. Keep holding those keys until a hidden scratch disk preferences window appears. This is especially useful when Photoshop is crashing on startup and you can't access the normal settings menu. Once the scratch disk window appears, you'll see a list of available drives on your computer. If you have an external hard drive, a secondary internal drive, or any drive with more free space, select that one as your scratch disk. Photoshop uses scratch disks as temporary storage when it runs out of RAM, so choosing a drive with plenty of space can instantly solve the problem. After selecting the drive, click OK and Photoshop should continue opening normally. Now, if Photoshop is already open but you're seeing the error while saving, editing, or creating new files, the next fix is to change the scratch disk from inside Photoshop itself. On Windows, go to Edit, then Preferences, then Scratch Disks. On Mac, go to Photoshop, then Settings, then Scratch Disks. This will open the Scratch Disk Preferences panel, where you can manage which drives Photoshop uses. In this window, you'll see all the hard drives connected to your system. Look for the drive that has the most available free space, such as an external SSD, or a separate drive like D:. Check the box next to that drive so Photoshop can use it as a scratch disk. If your main drive, especially the C drive, is nearly full, you can uncheck it or move it lower in the priority list using the arrow controls on the right. This helps Photoshop prioritize the drive with more breathing room and reduces the chance of the error coming back. After making your changes, click OK, then restart Photoshop to make sure the new scratch disk settings take effect. In many cases, that alone will fix the issue and get you back to editing without interruptions. If you're still running into the same problem, the third fix is to purge Photoshop's temporary cache. Photoshop stores a lot of temporary data in the background, including undo history, clipboard content, and other working files that can take up more space than you expect. Clearing that data can free up room right away. To do this, open your project, then go to Edit and choose Purge. From the submenu, click All. Photoshop will warn you that you won't be able to undo your recent steps after purging, so make sure you're okay losing that history before you continue. If you are, click OK, and Photoshop will clear out the temporary data. This can immediately reduce pressure on your scratch disk and help Photoshop run more smoothly. A quick tip here, if you work with large files often, it's a good idea to keep a dedicated drive with extra storage just for Photoshop scratch use. An SSD is even better because it gives you faster performance. Also, if your main drive is getting close to full, consider deleting unused files, clearing downloads, or moving large media folders to another drive. The more free space you give Photoshop, the less likely you are to see this error again. So to recap, if you get the scratch disks of full error in Photoshop, you can fix it by changing the scratch disk at startup, adjusting scratch disk preferences inside Photoshop, or purging temporary cache data. One of these methods usually solves the problem fast, and in some cases, combining them gives you the best result. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Photoshop tutorials, and check out the next video on your screen for more helpful fixes and workflow tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.